don't know why McKenna has stronger lobs. I don't know. I'll ask him about it, but it would seem nice. Anyway, all that balance stuff can be saved for a discussion session. We have the grand finals here. IHybrid versus DrakovsKinder, and already Drakov's dropped the juice. He's dropped it twice now. But I guess it doesn't matter. IHybrid just gonna get bunked there. And oh wait, have these two players played before?
They did. They played in the upper bracket final.
Yeah,
IHybrid.
and Drakov got 2-0'd.
Yeah, IHybrid
Oh, no,
did knock. Yeah, you've got beat 3-1, and so I mean, IHybrid by rights should be the favorite here. But
Drakov does have the momentum. He did just come off a pretty clean win for himself. Not too many mistakes made there, so he should have the energy going into this. I believe IHybrid has been sitting around for a while waiting for this game.
Yeah, he's going to be pretty cold. I'm not sure if he's been practicing with anyone or if he's just been watching the matches, but usually a good player should still be fine after sitting around. So a text light come nice from IHybrid. So we did see Drakov doing a couple in the lower bracket final. IHybrid showing he's not afraid to do it either. So we've got plenty of cheaters in this grand final. We've even got a spectator. So I'm sure chat will be loving that. So Drakov.
So text light is when you slide and you bring the shield out before your animation's finished, right?
Well,
to guarantee the perfect.
The shield does come up after the slide, but it's right at the end of the slide, so people still complain about it, even though I think it's fine.
Well, that's been around for ages, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
To be able to slide during the animation, you could start it. Which means in this patch, that would be busted as hell, because you could come out with a fully charged
yeah.
super. And a really nice shot there by Drakov. That was what I was talking about, when the disc clips the wall and kind of changes direction, doesn't act how you'd expect it to, goes in a straight line. And IHybrid is throwing away some low points, trying to get some cheesy supers out. And as good as it is to get supers out, you kind of want to save them for those big points. Because your opponent will get scored on it at the 7 points. And then they'll learn how to play around it. They'll learn how to save supers. So you normally kind of want to save that for a big old finish and not to score 7 points.
Yeah, for sure. IHybrid's definitely been trying to get a lot of supers through the tournament. It didn't work out too much for him in the...
That was a nasty drop of juice there. He ended up throwing out a white shot.
And it ended up costing him the rally for sure. So a point you were making earlier that with Drakov dropping his juice, it's something you really don't want to be doing deep into a rally, because it takes so long to get the juice back that later in the rally the shots are going so fast, it's so hard to get your juice back and bring yourself back into the rally. So losing a perfect streak, like even 15 points in the rally, it can cost you the rally straight up.
Yeah, it's definitely hard when you're juice v juice and you're the one who drops the juice. You've got a long way to come back if you're gonna bring that back, which is why so many people find themselves preferring to throw lobs rather than actually like returning blues until they get to pinks. And game 1 already over. Drakov with a swift vengeance victory. I'm not sure how the last series went, if he won the first game and then it went downhill from there, but he's looking really strong here. And it's 2 best of 5s, right?
Yeah.
If Drakov wins.
So
IHybrid with that sub.
You were talking as well that Drakov does have that momentum, and it definitely showed. Like, that first game just seemed so dominant, and IHybrid only able to read the wall right. I'm just gonna check the ping real quick. It is 144, so a little bit higher than maybe what it was higher than what he had with the Walrus, but 144 still isn't terrible. Maybe those wall rides are a bit hard to read with that ping.
And the 144 ping is definitely not an excuse for these whites he keeps throwing. That is not how 144 ping works. These it seemed like he's pretty inconsistent with his shots and just messing up the timing. And honestly, I've got to say it's because he keeps going for these weird shield plays in the middle where they're really not necessary. And he's kind of, I think he's mind gaming himself more than anything. He should just be happy to sit back and play the juice v juice game, be content with that. And another example of him shielding for no reason. Even if he'd hit the disc with that shield, he didn't have anywhere near, like, it wasn't charging long enough that he'd get the super. So I think he just needs to kind of bring it back to basics, bring back the core gameplay, and then when you feel yourself like coming back in the game, getting the momentum that Drakov's got, that's when you can start doing the bigger, cooler, more impressive super plays.
Yeah, it's definitely costing him a lot so far. He hasn't really been able to put much points on the board for himself. I feel like he may be trying to copy Timpa, who is just on a whole different level. He's a player that is just unbelievable at getting those supers almost every time. But even he himself struggles to do it in tournaments, so it's not a place I'll just recommend someone to try and do. It's extraordinarily hard to pull off trying to go for those supers all the time.
Yeah, it's definitely something you have to work your way up to, not something you can just pick up overnight. And there we go. We see Drakov moves really far up there to return that blue shot. Gets the first set of game 2 here. And Hybrid has been doing a good job at playing aggressively. Both players are doing pretty well at coming from the hazard line and coming up when the opportunity sees it. We see a bit of a weird slide there, unable to get the disc. That's going to find itself in the corner.
Yeah, it was a nice filth come out from Drakov. Of course, the filths are a lot harder to get perfectly at the moment in this patch with the sensitivity changes on the analog stick. So you can still get filths, but getting that perfect filth right in the corner definitely is a lot harder now. So Drakov definitely showing that the rust is completely off. He's getting his shots pretty nicely almost every time right now, and it's definitely showing. So looks like Drakov definitely has a chance of possibly winning this final this time around, rather than losing out to Hybrid. So we'll see if he can keep it up, or maybe Hybrid will start to play a bit better. Hybrid with the drop shot doesn't work out this time. Drakov with the tech slide, and the overcurve manages to trick a Hybrid, thinking he had it, and it just slips past the front of his face. And yeah, it seems to have affected his playstyle a bit. He doesn't really know what to do right now. He can't really get anything his way.
That last rally was really good, and the reason it was so good is Hybrid didn't hit his shield button once. That was just a constant rally return of 16 to 16. That was just a much cleaner set, back to the basics as I was saying, and it does look like he's sticking to that now. Because each time you shield, even there's just another huge misplay there, and that is going to be game 2. When you shield, you're giving up so much advantage of like the instant return. And yeah, Drakov asking lag. I mean, 144 really isn't that bad. I mean, it's going to affect a few things, but not enough to the point of oh, he's ping tilted. All right.
So yeah, like the 1.4 ping or the 140 ping, sorry, will have a slight effect, but it's like he said, it's more so the fact that he's making minor mistakes because of the ping, but then it's tilting him into making bigger mistakes. So
yeah, it's an unfortunate landslide of triggered by one thing and triggered by your own thing after being triggered by that thing. But that was a very nice shot. Like, Hybrid still got a chance to win this. I think he just needs to kind of chill out. And as you can see, he's playing aggressive now. He's getting these juiced. He's forcing these slides. He's already playing so much better. Just needs to take a breath. Never hit the select button. Like, because I found myself doing this in high ping matches. I'd lose a point, then I'd open up like the tab screen and I'd be like, 140 ping. And I'll just blame it on that. That's not what you want to do. Never blame ping. Blame yourself, because then you can improve yourself. You can't improve ping. So if you identify what you're doing wrong, what you need to do better, rather than identifying something that you can't control, you're going to find yourself doing a lot better. And this is already a much closer match. We're 25 to 27. This is definitely what I like to see. A really nice mid-court war right there, and some really nice shots coming out from Hybrid. This is a completely different guy than we've seen the previous games. A little greedy there to not go for the slide, but hopefully it does look like he's going to be putting up a bit more of a fight this time.
Yeah, and it's actually probably a good tip that you mentioned, not to open up the score screen. It's something I do a lot as well personally. Maybe I'll take your advice and put it into my own play.
Oh yeah, back when I was playing tournaments, the moment I'd load into a game, I was like, select, mute, and then never hit that button again. Like, there's no need to hit it. I don't need to see these nice one quick chats. I know it was a nice one. I don't need validation. Make sure you unmute at the end of the game though, because otherwise you'll miss like the GGs, and that's disrespectful.
So even though Hybrid did make this rally or the set a bit closer, Drakov still come out ahead on it, and Hybrid looking at a possible bracket reset right now. So not even really making it a challenger.
He at least knows he has something to fall back on here, and as long as he's just fine with his own mind state. We did hear that he was tilted, which is a bad sign. I'd be tilted after that, straight up in the air as well. That just detonated exactly on reason. As long as he doesn't like worry too much about these losses, just imagine this next one is a new best of 5. Nothing's happened before. I mean, he's beat Drakov before. Like, we know he can do it. He's just gotta figure out how to do it again. He's got to not get in his own head, just play the game as it's meant to be played. He's doing much better this game, despite occasionally dropping a few points from greed here and there. He's just got to get in his right place, and he'll be able to take this next best of 5 easily.
Yeah, and despite getting slightly better over time, sorry, it actually seems like Drakov is actually getting better the longer this game is going on as well.
Not taking anything away from Drakov. His shot placement is only getting better. Both players' shots have actually been getting so much better. We're kind of seeing the game evolve and adapt as both players get more comfortable with the matchup with themselves. We've been seeing a lot more field shots despite, as you were talking about, the sensitivity changes. Some really nice wall rides, some just really nice positioning as well. But it has kind of been a case that Hybrid has been forced to slide a lot more than Drakov has. Drakov has been juiced almost this entire time, very rarely throwing blues and whites. So he is going to win. I believe that's game 3. So we are going to be going for the bracket reset now. And a Hybrid asking to switch characters.